RJ, we're coming to the end of the 2015 eFest event. We were here a couple of years ago, actually about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was extraordinary then. We come out here now, and we're just blown away by what we see. But there are some folks out there that are not only maximizing the technology, but the technique as well. Obviously, making one of the national teams, you've certainly pushed your way to the top of the envelope in that particular area. But what drives you? Why are you here? And more important, what's this all about?
What drives me is simple. This is fun. This is a lot of fun to me. I've been flying for 12 years now, and especially as you mentioned, over the past 5-6 years, the advances in electric flight and technology have been extreme. The battery technology has really matured, and it makes a lot of new things possible. And I'm a student in aerospace engineering. I've always loved experimental airplanes. And with indoor airplanes and foam, it's easy to put something together, try it, and see what works and improve it very rapidly, and do things that aren't possible with higher mass airplanes.
You're a private pilot as well, so you're well aware of just how much separation there is between this reality and full-scale reality.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I love both, but it's fun to do things that you could never imagine doing with a full-scale airplane.
Tell me about the competition that you're going to be undertaking in a couple of weeks in Poland. You're a member of a U.S. team. What's that all about? What kind of criteria involved? What are the aircraft doing? This
is the second FAI World Championships for F3P, which is indoor radio-controlled precision aerobatics. It's the first time the U.S. has sent a team, so we're proud to be that first team. Basically, it's very lightweight indoor electric models doing precision sequences. There's a preliminary and final sequence of aerobatic maneuvers that are set by the organization. Everyone will do the same sequences, and it's judged primarily on precision.
Now, we saw a demonstration last night, and first of all, it's incredibly slow in comparison to some of the maneuvering we're seeing here, but the precision involved has to be just painstaking.
It is, absolutely. We build the airplanes as light as possible to fly as slowly as possible because it enhances that precision. It gives the pilot a chance to make more minute corrections and present it as precisely as possible.
Why do you choose this mode of model aviation?
You know, I think the biggest thing I found is the precision it's almost the greatest challenge there is in flying, because there's no such thing as a perfect flight. There's always something that can be improved, both in your flying and in the airplane. And striving to get closer and closer to perfection is really rewarding, and it helps every aspect of your flying.
Do you know how much you sound like every member of the United States aerobatic team I've ever worked with or talked to?
That's an honor to hear. I'm very proud to hear that, actually.
Redbird Flight Simulations is dedicated to revolutionizing flight training by designing, manufacturing, and delivering affordable and innovative flight training technologies. Each Redbird device is designed to enhance the training experience for pilots of all levels, from student to ATP. Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
When you look at the aviation world, the model aviation world in particular, what else out here do you find hopeful or interesting, or I assume you fly other types of models?
Yeah, I fly a little bit of everything, from these micro indoor airplanes to giant scale aerobatics as well. You know, the advancing technology in recent years is very hopeful. It's brought a lot of new life to the hobby, with electric models being easier to fly in more locations, and it's brought a lot of new people into the hobby. It's a little different now. There's so many ready-to-fly airplanes that you don't have to take months and months to stick build an airplane yourself and then go fly it and crash it and get discouraged. A lot of people are able to more easily get into the hobby, and it's brought a lot of new, younger people into the hobby, which I think is very helpful.
Yeah, I see a tremendous number of kids here, actually whole families. Boy, if the full-scale aviation world could get a little bit more of that, we'd be in really great shape.
Yeah, that would be ideal. I come from a similar background. Both my parents are pilots, so they taught me to fly full-scale airplanes. And when I learned to fly RC, I taught my dad to fly. So it's a great family hobby as well, and it's very nice to see that here.
Tell us about your current educational path and where you'd like to take it and how all this interrelates.
Sure. I'm a student at North Carolina State University in aerospace engineering. I actually finally graduate this May.
Congrats.
Thank you. Excited about that. And I've done a lot of UAV work, so I'm kind of interested in that end of it. But as we've talked about, I'm a pilot, and I grew up around flight test. And flight test is my passion, and, you know, eventually want to get into flight test as a pilot. So that's really where I want to go.
Are there any technologies you're seeing here that will eventually have an impact on full-scale aviation?
Well, that's a very interesting question. Yes, absolutely. I happen to know of some things where there's a lot of crossover that I can't even talk about, but there's a lot of crossover that you wouldn't even imagine, and in the next 5 to 10 years we'll see a lot of it. I'm very interested personally to see where the electric propulsion goes with full-scale aviation. I've been watching it a little bit, and it's just neat to see. It's always kind of neat to see anything that to take the model technology and take it over to full scale and see where that goes. So very interested to see it.
Finally, the extraordinary story of the world-changing X Prize space competition is being told and illustrated with hundreds of insider photos in Jim Campbell's colorful new book, Beyond the Blue. Journey with Jim as he flies formation with spaceships, plays in zero gravity, prepares rocket racers, and documents the amazing first decade of the personal space race. Available this summer. Get your advance order in now by checking out www.kindredspirit.com.
There's one other thing I wanted to comment on and get your input on that I've seen here. We've been pushing the community aspect of full-scale aviation, which is a little bit fragmented after years of decline and problems and so forth. Yet I walk here, all the interviews we're doing, support your hobby shop, support AMA, be a good neighbor. There is such a positive community vibe within this aspect of aviation. Where did that come from? Is that just out of sheer need for survival, or is that just the nature of the beast?
I think to an extent it's the nature of the beast, especially the way model aviation has been in years past. It used to be, as I said, you build a model and you spend a long time building it, and you need help from people, and you go to your local flying club and you meet people, they help you and teach you to fly, and it's a very community-based thing. I hope that sticks around. It's a little different these days because anyone can go to the hobby shop, buy something ready to fly, and fly in their backyard. But at the same time, even those people hear about these events and come like, I want to go fly with other people too. So they show up, and it's a very strong community, both online and in person here, so we love it.
Well, one final question and a request. What advice would you give to somebody who's going to watch these programs over the next few months, the pieces we do out of here, and go, oh yeah, this is for me, this is something I want to do? Where do they start?
The best thing you can do is go to your local hobby shop, talk to knowledgeable people, and go find a local flying club. And I think the best thing you can do is go to your club and watch and talk to people and learn from them. You can learn on your own. The RC simulators on the computer are a great tool. Ready to Fly is great. But just going and being around existing modelers and talking to them is absolutely the best way to start.
And the request is this. When you get to Poland, keep us up to date, let us know, and oh, by the way, go kick a little butt.
We'd love to do it. Thank you very much.